pleasant good evening to the universe. Another Sunday, another episode. It is the Carnival Ref live. And I changed up the format this week. As you can see, I actually started the show. I usually end the show with a music video. Today, I actually started the show with a music video. So let me know how you like that switch. That was Remember Me by our first guest that's going to join us this evening, Lil Bitts, straight from Sweet T&T. And also, again, another awesome show coming all the way from the VI, the USVI, goes by the name of Adam O. Is going to be joining as well. So stay tuned. And I'm not just because I started the show with a music video, doesn't mean I'm not going to end the show with a music video. So without further ado, let's run the reel and introduce our first guest for the evening.
Nobody can stop me. Soca music really have me bumping the floor. Bump, 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 start a bump. Ladies, soca make me bump, 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 start a bump. Ladies, soca make me bump. Do what you gonna do when I wreck me bump back on you. Breathe, boy, it's sweeter than before. I need more than just a wine. I need to feel you like you're feeling me. So let me tell you, you got to rock. Away, Jamaica done it, I'm not interested in soft man. I do not want to be yawning while you bring the good vibes, bring the good line, bring the good times again. Bring the good vibe for all the people, them. Oh, I love when the vibe, it's addicting to me. So damn good. Your hands around me feel so beautiful. Back and forth, we rocking, go boy, go.
Welcome to the show. I saw you back there, and the music videos are playing, and you're singing your songs with enthusiasm and passion, as if you're on stage performing. And it led me to ask this question that my brother always asks me: Do you sing your own music? Could an artist sing their own music when you're not on stage? Like, could you be driving your car and your song comes on the radio, and you're like, "This is the shit, woo!"
But of course, I sing it on me as well. Sing it in the car too. I sing it on stage for people. I can sing it for myself in the car.
Yeah. So no embarrassment. You will be in a fete. Your song, the DJ plays your song. You will be like, "Yo."
You know, weirdly enough, like if I'm in a fete and it happens, like people around me would start making noise and getting excited. Like if I have my friends and stuff, and it feels really weird and awkward. Like when you're around people.
Yeah.
But like when I'm in my own comfort zone, like I'm just there in my car and I'm chilling, you know, you're probably in traffic or something, and in your own space is like a totally different vibe. You could vibe.
Okay.
You know?
Right. So when you're by yourself, you can vibe, you're in the shower, you're driving in the car. But if you're with your friends and everybody drinking and liming, you won't just start to be like, "Ah," like I'm
around them or like backstage is kind of weird. It's kind of weird.
Right.
Yeah.
So I was telling before we started I started the show, I'm supposed to find time to do my research and do my read bios and know your history. I find every week 5 minutes, I'm rushing, trying to jump in the shower, trying to get on the live, and I'm always behind. I'm like the king of procrastination. Tell us about Lil Bitts. Where did it start for you? What year? And if you could summarize it from day one to 2020.
Well, I started singing calypso, social commentary, when I was 9 years old. I sang that until like I was about 16, 17. I met Colonel Roberts because he went to the same secondary school as me, Woodbrook Government Secondary. My sister also attended there, and the both of them were in the same class, and they were like four years in front of me. And she was like, "Yo, you need to write a soca song for my sister because she sings." And he wrote my first soca song, Spin Your Towel. I entered the junior soca monarch competition with that.
And you said you were 7?
What's that?
7 or 9? How old were you?
When I was 9, I did calypso. I started with calypso. But
At 9, you started with calypso. Okay.
When I turned 16, 17, I started doing soca music.
Right.
Because I met Colonel around that time, because he went to the same school with me, but he was like 4 years in front of me, but in the same class with my sister.
Okay, so your older sister and him were friends, and she said, "Yo, write a song, write a soca song for my little sister. She could sing."
Yeah. And he wrote my first soca song, Spin Your Towel. It was very school-like, very school-like type material.
Yeah.
And from there, I was looking to leave school. And we decided, yo, you're going to be entering like the big people competitions now, and you know that the big people arena. So he wrote for me for like 2 years, and the third year I wrote in my country, featuring Bunji Garlin. And basically
There's no
from
music
there,
video for that song, is there? Oh,
there's
there's.
not a video, anything for it now.
I was I was
It was
trying to
looking,
remember. I'm like, when did Little Bits first come to like in my mind? And what was the hit song? The first hit song? It was "In My Country" with Bunji Garlin.
definitely.
That was 2000 and what, 4?
Yes. Woo! Yes.
Wow. Okay.
You
I
remember really
remember. I
good
remember.
though.
I was in Canada at the time, and that's how. Yeah. Okay. Good.
Yeah, and I did this song with Bunji that basically really give me that foot in the door, and really took off my career from there. And things happened so fast with that because
Yeah.
I
And just to
literally
stop
went
real
from my
quick,
phone.
could you, for the people that are watching, could you just give us a piece of the hook for that song? Carnival time in.
Carnival time, yeah, in my country. We drinking whiskey. We get to see. We jumping like we crazy. We moving up, we body. Shake up, we boom. See if you can understand me. Let me show you what I mean.
I love that song, and I haven't heard that song in a while.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
love
yeah.
that. Okay. 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 All right. So
And
back to the conversation.
that song basically took my career took off with that
Mhm.
particular song. Then I had Crush with Sean Cruz the following year, and then we had Bump. Then we had the Christmas Rhythm. All that
Right.
literally happened in 2005, one after
Christmas
the
rhythm would
other.
live on forever. The best
Love it.
rhythm on Parang, the Christmas rhythm, would live
The
on
It's the
forever.
Fiesta.
Yeah.
Christmas time is here again. It's the Fiesta. You're living with all your friends.
Love it.
Until you learn where you're cooking.
I love, like, I just actually loaded up my Parang favorites, all-time favorites, for because the season is near while we're here.
Yes.
And the Christmas rhythm is always in my favorite list. So,
Yeah,
I
it was
did a
one of the
playlist.
first. I think it was like the first Christmas rhythm ever. Because I think the thing with
Oh,
Chasu, yeah, I think the thing with Chasu was like it always had soca rhythms, but it never had like a Christmas rhythm. So he was like, rhythm's so popular, why we don't do a Christmas rhythm? And I remember when it dropped, it just basically took off because the idea seemed so original,
yeah.
and people loved it because it's soca, it's parang, and it had really nice material on the rhythm as well. So it
Right.
just worked.
All right. Do you think it's possible for an artist in the Caribbean, probably even Trinidad? I don't even know any offhand, but I'm getting this general, I guess, direction where most people start off in the calypso arena before they transition to soca. I don't know anybody. Do you know people that came straight into soca? Because it seems as if it's like, hey, while you're young, you go into the calypso and you sing about the politics of the culture, and then you could swerve.
I think there would be a couple people that went straight to soca. I can't name off the bat.
Hmm.
But what happened is I feel as if calypso continues to be the foundation, because when you go to school in the competitions,
Right.
the calypso competitions is like the main thing. You have to write a calypso or get a calypso, perform a
Yeah.
calypso, and
The school's
you know
pushing calypso.
yeah,
Right.
definitely in primary school and that kind of thing. So I feel as if that has always been the foundation. Go over to soca. And you
Yeah.
have it, I mean, with plenty of people. You have it with Ulf and Alves, you have it with Patrice Roberts, you have it with Olatunji. I mean, Chucky, like all of them came from a calypso background
Right.
before they came into soca. So it's just, I don't know. It's always the automatic transition, I guess.
Yeah. I I looked at when I first asked for your music video for Remember Me and I played it. I swore there were 3 or 4 different versions of you in that video. At times I'm thinking, is that Little Bits? Is that like you literally didn't look like the person that I have in mind?
Yeah.
And did you intentionally do that, or like every person looked like somebody else to me? And let's not
The,
even
the
talk about the white shirt that It was just a white shirt.
Um, the thing about it, I must big up Space Boy, the stylist. He's
Yeah.
my stylist. He has been for the entire carnival season. He did an amazing job for me, and I knew I had to use him again for the video. And we just wanted to give people looks. Like every time you see a look, you see
Yeah.
something different now. So
Right.
you could see sexy, you could see the more mature look, you could see the cute look, you could see the, you just got different looks every time you saw it. And that was the whole point, because whatever look you got, you needed to remember me now. So
Right. Right. What would you say has been or is the hardest challenge for you as a female soca artist since for your career? Like what had you have to overcome or are you still trying to overcome as an artist, as a female soca artist?
I think staying in the game, and just like staying in the game and maintaining that look and
Right.
that image, because it's very difficult. Like for me, I think I had it I had it like hard. I think I had it hard because I started when I was like what, 17, 18, right?
Right.
Um
So fairly young for
like
soca.
really young in terms of
Yeah.
soca. Like
For a female.
I I was like 20 years and touring with Bungie Garland.
Right.
You know what I mean? That was
What did
crazy.
that
I was
feel
19, 20.
like back then at 20 touring bungee? What was
That
the
was crazy
feeling?
for me because I mean, I just came out of school like 2 years before that. I
Right.
was new to the industry. I didn't know all these people. I didn't know the touring lifestyle. I
Right.
didn't know
Did you have a 9 to 5 or you were doing this full
at that
time?
time.
Yeah.
I think
Or
I was doing
eight to
school.
eight to
I went
six
to
or eight
another.
to
I
four?
went to a tertiary school after.
Okay. What school?
I went to Trinidad College, and then
Right.
after I went to Costard right after.
Okay.
So it was like a whole new world. I was like,
Yeah.
what is this?
Imagine.
Yeah, it was just such a beautiful and amazing experience for a young person who's now entering in the business. And to me, like the soca business was so different back then to now. You
Right.
know, yeah, it was an amazing experience. So I
Mad.
enjoyed it.
I wanna
But it has been I was saying
yeah.
it has been difficult for me because I started really young, and I feel as if the things that men could get away with, women can't get away with. Because as we start to get older, as we start to get put on a little weight, we are judged so much.
Right.
And with men, they could be singing for years, their belly could get big. It
Yeah.
doesn't matter. You know what I mean? People jumping and waving, but there's so much more scrutiny when it comes to females for us to
Right.
maintain
You'll
our
have to
look.
maintain that physical image as well.
Yeah, and I think that's probably the most and also with the time change. Like for me, I was telling somebody when I first started, it was CDs and stuff you would give out or whatever it is. But
Yeah.
now everything is social media. Back then when I first started, nothing was social media. It had nothing to do with social media. And now I live in
Yeah.
a world where everything is social media. So now you have to like evolve and adapt to it now. So
Yeah. How
yeah.
how good have you done of a job of you think if you had to rate yourself on a scale of 1 to 10 of adapting to this whole social media era and transitioning and saying, you know what, we
Give
did, or you're
myself
still working on it?
I give myself probably no, I'm really hard on myself too. I probably give myself like a 7.
7.
Yeah.
So still work in progress to get there.
It's still a work in
It
progress
takes time.
because yeah, it's still a work in progress. Still a work in but I'm really active on my social media, my Facebook, my Instagram, my Twitter. I keep updated all the time. I keep updating my stuff all the time, and I do it personally. I don't have somebody doing it for me.
Wow, yeah.
My YouTube,
But
big up
I
Julian.
think
Julian
for an
helped me with
artist,
my
I
YouTube,
think
but
at a certain point, that's a good thing, though. You don't agree? If
what's
you
that?
are the person handling your own socials, I like to know when I reach out to someone that I'm actually talking to you on your
Yeah,
social. I hate
yeah.
when I'm talking to someone like, oh no, this is the assistant, blah blah blah. I'm like, oh,
Yeah, but that's actually my reason, because I've been offered on many occasions, can I do your social media? Can I do your social media? But for me, it's good to kind of connect with people.
yeah,
Sometimes it get a little out of hand, but it's
right,
nice. It's cool to get the feedback and stuff from people and hear them say, Bits are really I really love your song. I really love your video. I love your music. You know,
Yeah.
it's
What do
nice.
most people call you? Bits?
They call me Bits. They call me Lil Bits. They call me Bitsy Bitsy. They are all me Bitsy Bitsy now because I've had it. I've added it to the tag. That's like my official tag now on all my songs because I did it for
Okay.
the co-sign with Farmer. I did it this year too. So for the song too. So everything. Yeah.
All right. We had that 20-minute mark where I'd like to introduce our next guests,
Yes.
and then we could all continue to vibes off. And I think I'm 2 for 2 with putting together artists where you guys at the end of this will probably exchange info and work on a
Very
collaboration.
nice.
Yeah.
Yes.
So let me find this reel for my boy from the USVI. Let me see if I could find this thing.
Well, it's Adamo, Adamo. And let me see you wine and dip. Go down, girl. Go down, girl. Go down, girl. This bad girl wine and dip. Go down, girl. Go down, girl. She want me know, hey, check her now. Winding up the body, want me know. Say, mama, can I be your papa? Coffee to my creamer, yeah, yeah. Ram, badam, bam, bam, bam. Show me your sexy dance. Man, oh man, what an introduction, man.
Yo, welcome to the show, Adam O.
Yo, pleasure and
All the way
honor
from
to
the
be here.
VI.
Yeah, man, all the way from the Virgin Islands with the ears a little cleaner, a little sweeter. That's all I can say.
So it's weird though. I'm gonna call this segment. We're gonna call this segment this one's to the ladies, right? Because I was on Uber Soca cruise, and I remember too, we was having lunch, and then Adam came over so we could exchange information to do some business.
Yeah.
And one girl was like, "Oh, I gotta take a picture with Adam O because my friend loves Adam O, and blah blah blah. Adam O is so sexy." And I'm like, "Okay, Adam." But it all started though for me when I saw your video, "Wine and Dip," is it?
Yeah.
And that was a whole sex appeal video by itself. And
Yeah,
it was
yeah.
it was what I loved about it was more of an international kind of vibe than just a regular Caribbean scene where you shot it Caribbean like, but it was still very MTV-ish, I would say, BET quality.
Yeah.
And that's when you came on my radar. And then after boom, 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 and then Uber Soca Cruise and tunes just started come, and now we have
Man.
this and that. And as you can see from the reel, and I'm sure there's stuff that I probably didn't even know of, that's huge in the VI that we in Trinidad and the rest of the world need to get familiar with too. So
Definitely.
Adam O, where did it start for you? Were you a choir boy as well? Like how did you get into this whole thing?
Well, I will venture to say that it did start in the church. I definitely used to play drums in the church, believe it or not. I used to play the drums. Yeah. And there was a time we were practicing for service like on a Saturday night. And it was just me alone in there, and the worship leader they heard me like singing the song and drumming, because a lot of drummers, they sing while they drum, right?
Right.
So they'd be like, wait, you on key, man. You sound like you know you're doing, right? So it started there, and that's kind of how it evolved into me knowing I could sing. Because, a lot of the times, and I feel this is throughout the Caribbean, there's a lot of young talent that don't even know that, hey, there's a wall and an industry for this. You know what I'm saying? Whether it's a kid who just like to go outside and kick the soccer ball, or, a kid who just likes to draw for fun, or whatever the case may be. We just don't get told that at that young stage, like, hey, you can't do this professionally for the rest of your life, So it started there. I want to shout out Daddy Jones. A lot of people don't know who Daddy Jones is. He is one of the most influential producers out of the Virgin Islands for Virgin Islands history. He's responsible for people like Daddy Friday and stuff like that, who are monumental to us. That's like our Marshall Montano, or you see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And this producer saw me singing at a friend of mine's wedding. She asked me to sing a song at her wedding. I said no problem. He was in the crowd. I didn't know he was there. He heard me sing, came up to me, and he was like, listen, I have a rhythm coming out and I want you to try a thing on it. So that's how I got my first soca song, right?
Right.
Because
So
I
you were
was
singing what's at this wedding? No,
at this wedding, I was singing
covers,
R&B because
R and B.
that's what I was into. I just used to go around the place doing cover songs on R&B tracks,
Yeah,
I really wasn't taking it serious, like, somebody paying me to go perform kind of thing. I just kind of was like, I had no of bands, that did it and whatnot, but I just had a passion for R&B music, you know what I'm saying?
yeah.
But soca, I always had a love for it, same way. But R&B had just catch me, like I have a lot of like. I'll give you a perfect example. I remember hearing Skinny Fabulous saying that he fell in love with dance hall and stuff.
So
Yeah,
wanted
so
to be the bounty killer.
yeah, the bounty killer and stuff. So every artist have, we very diverse. I'm sure Bits, I'm sure you have,
Yeah, but
whatever
were you
genre.
straight in love? Soca was your first love, or you were? I
Yeah.
want to be Patti LaBelle or Whitney
I
Houston.
wanted to be Whitney Houston, honey boo
See?
boo.
You see, there it is. There it is. I feel like we all have that inspiration. That's the beautiful thing about soca. Soca gives us the ability to bring those different elements into that happy, party atmosphere and stuff like that. And I feel like that's where we just connect with people out the road too.
Right.
If you see, and I mean, you don't travel all over the world. I mean, you don't see Canada and all kind of different places. People know nothing of soca, but the minute they hear a melody or whatever, they connect. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So with the R&B, I got into soca through Daddy Jones. I think that was 2004. As my first song. A friend of mine was like, "Do this song so good, we gotta do a music video." Don't look up the music video because I hate it. I hate it. I think it's still up there. It's called Sweet Love, but don't look it up, all right?
Was it called Sweet Love?
It's called Sweet Love, but don't look it up. And yeah, man, it was me and my little brother at the time. Well, not at the time. He's still my little brother. What am I talking about? Me and my little brother, we did the song. The song took off here locally, really big. Fast forward, I was in the military for about 10 years, but while I was in the military, serving abroad and stuff like that, I was still doing music, right? I was actually in the military full-time with a band called Cool Breeze Band, and we would fly from Atlanta, perform in St. Thomas on a Saturday, fly back on a Sunday, be to work on a Monday, that kind of way. Like, and we did all of this out of pocket. It wasn't even like we being flued out, you know what I'm saying? Because we just wanted to, do it that bad, So long story short, I am kind of a jack of all trades when it comes to music in a sense, because I just have a love and a passion for music in general, whether it's reggae, soca, dance, or whatever. But soca really catch me because I love to party, I love to drink, I love to fit. And I feel like when you walk in a room and it's soca, it's like, yeah, I belong here. This is where I belong.
I totally agree. I'm with you with that. Totally.
You see somebody say they're looking for the video. I tell y'all, don't look for the video. Jeez.
Yeah, that's my homegirl, Michelle. So she's all the way in Paris. And funny enough, she said it's the first time she's saying a VI accent. And then she said, now self, she's going to look for the video.
Oh,
they say, don't look for it. It's not a Trini, don't look for it. They go in and look for it.
Okay. Well, now I know how to promote in Trinidad.
Be like, y'all don't want to see this.
Yeah, don't go look up the sexy dance video that just dropped yesterday. Don't do that. Don't do that.
So what I guess my question here now is, Adam, for a long time, the islands were very segregated, especially when it came to soca music. And Trinidad was the Mecca. And you guys come to us. Always come to us. We might come to a crop over. We might go to a Grenada, Spice Mass.
Yeah.
But we are certainly trend, and you will bring us in, our artists, into your carnivals.
Yeah.
And in the past, I don't know, maybe 5 years, maybe more, carnivals in each country has totally evolved into its blossomed, I should say. Where they have their own strong artists. They always did that, but now the artists are touring other islands and seem to become more of a web. We're definitely better connected. And big props to Uber Soca Cruise, because when they started that cruise, I think that changed the whole game, because then we all became this. Like,
for real.
People were getting on that cruise, and you will, you talk about Bungie, want to do something with Pumper. That would never happen if it wasn't for the cruise,
Very true. Very true.
So
And
kind of
Pumper has been to Trinidad
really
before,
close. But did you before the Uber Soca and all that? Like, what was your take? Was it screw it, we'll just do what we have to do here in EVI and let Trinidad do what they're doing, or was it a fight to how do we get to Trini Carnival and do something big there?
So the best way I could paint this picture for everybody, from my perspective, right? Because everybody have their own take on it. I think the Virgin Island connects a lot with how St. Lucia kind of came to the fold with their style of music. That's kind of established itself in a way with Moto and Freeze and the rest of them. You know what I'm saying? So the Virgin Islands, we just love what we love.
Right.
We have the ability to appreciate a jab or any other style of soca. But at the end of the day, you come to the Virgin Islands, you're gonna leave knowing that hey, there's a certain sound them guys was playing that I've never heard anywhere else.
True.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So with that being said, it's like with the Virgin Islands, we always been in the background. Like we have producers and writers that's written for Destra and Bungie and all the big names from the Virgin Islands. I could go down the list.
True.
But as far as our artists being in the forefront, like hey, you have your big names, and then of those big names, the Virgin Islands is present. That hasn't been established for a while,
Right.
And like you said, Uber Soca was the first time that I've seen it to where you have a platform that big where the whole Caribbean is basically looking at you. And then when you see the names pop up, you have Pumpa. And now I came like maybe 2-3 years after. And then, before that you had Pumpa and Avalanche, DJ Avalanche, right?
Yeah.
So I feel like it's the same kind of thing that's happening right now with St. Lucia. I feel St. Lucia's music. I think there was a documentary on YouTube. I don't know if you saw it, that was explaining how the culture of St. Lucia's music was kind of like the street sound for a while, and the government didn't really want to co-sign it because it was just like them unruly kids down the road making the noise kind of thing. But we gravitate to it the minute we heard it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So the Virgin Islands, in a sense, is like we are kind of like that, right? And I have to be careful when I say these kind of things because at the same time, it's like I know there's VI people watching this and they're like, so no talk about what thing like that, dog. Or what thing is the top tier, top shelf, blah, blah, blah. But for somebody like myself who's been, all over and seen different cultures and mention name like Daddy Friday, and Daddy Friday is like Obama to us. And people in Trinidad have never heard of him. That's proof.
Bitts, you ever heard of Daddy Friday?
Exactly. That's proof. That is the proof right there. That's the proof right there. So I am very thankful for the last few years that there's been like a shift in the mood, with a willingness to accept, things that are outside the norm,
True.
Mr. Killer winning, the Monarch and sorry, did I get done? I'm back.
No, you're there.
Okay, sorry. That somebody was calling my phone. So
the phone. Now the call came. But so Bitts, as he's trying to handle that call, have you as an artist in Trinidad ever decided how do I push out to the other islands and do stuff with other artists and worked up towards that, or you're always just comfortable with them being a Trinidadian artist and dealing with Trinidadian soca artists?
To me, Trinidad to me, it seems as if we've always been open to other islands in terms of like the music and producers and rhythms and that kind of thing. Because like to me, like for years we've been doing stuff with Grenada, St. Lucia.
Right, but you as an artist, have stopped and said, you know what, I want to do a collab with Mr. Killer out of Grenada?
Yeah, like to me, like I've worked with people from Barbados,
right?
Cooper Dan. In terms of rhythms too, like I've been on a Grenadian rhythm before, like, and I felt that if at a point in time too, like the island's music was running things. Like you would hear rhythms from up the islands. I would just
Yeah.
be a sort of Trini artist on it. You know
That's
what
kind
I
of a
mean?
new thing, though. Huh? There's a lot of outside rhythms outside of Trinidad where our artists are now.
Yeah.
Rhythms out of Grenada, Vinci, Barbados.
These guys is Panamese.
Yeah, Penanese, St. Lucia.
You know what I mean? And that was a couple years back.
Yeah.
They were running it in terms of like power soca.
Yeah.
You know, so I think I don't know, every year, to me, every year, like it keeps switching. Things keep changing.
For the
So, you know,
good.
this season you might get this, and then after the following season you'll get something. But it's really nice to hear that Uber Soca Cruise was able to help people connect, help artists connect, help fans connect with all different artists from different parts of the world, and other artists from other islands are able to connect. So that's pretty awesome.
Yeah. I mean, Uber Soca Cruise became the last, I want to say, unofficial, and not again, then Nevis and St. Kitts and Nevis came on and fight that fight. But we were calling Uber Soca Cruise the last official, unofficial carnival of the year. And mainly because a lot of artists were coming on board that cruise and releasing and busting its stuff for Trinidad Carnival. That was the release time. Cass and Patrice. I can't tell you how much hits came out for that cruise where it is right into Carnival. And how much people recorded. Like, it's insane. It is
music
insane.
and that kind of thing. So I mean, it's beautiful. Everything happens for a reason. And
right. And you've never been on it, I bet.
What's that?
You've never been on a cruise.
Never been on the Uber.
So I will put in a word for you. So
but
next
I heard
time we
it's
go
really
to sail,
it's a nice nice energy, nice vibe.
little bits on board.
Good.
A little bit. Adam, so yeah, before you got your phone call, I don't know, you were in the middle of a
Yeah, man. Sorry about that. So yeah, I was just saying in the sense of I feel like what you spoke about is now kind of a thing of the past because we're moving forward in that cohesiveness. There's a term that you'll hear bouncing around the room a lot, the small island crew. Small island crew is basically your Virgin Islands, your Kititians, your Lucians, Dominica, that group of people where it was
I felt like St. Lucia and Grenada.
You're gonna have a
St. Lucia and Grenada fight themselves out of that small island crew term. They're pushed out of it.
Yeah.
Now the small islands is VI.
They push themselves out of it, right? They push themselves out of it, but the thing is, what gets your card into that society is the sound, right?
Yeah.
There's certain sounds that we use in the rhythm, right? That instinctively when you hear it, you're like, that's a small island sound. And for those of you who watching to kind of understand what I'm talking about, the rhythm in family, if you break down the rhythm, that pong 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 pong, like that sound is a sound that the small island recognizes a lot. We use it plenty. You understand?
Yeah.
That's the best way I could kind of explain it. And I want to say the producer for that was from Dominica, if I'm not mistaken. So that's the proof right there for you. So what's that?
Yes, you can remember the.
I was trying to remember the guy's name because he was here for the whole carnival when they won the road match.
Yeah. So I mean, long story short, I know that everybody has identified that the VI has kind of been out of the loop for a while. You might have heard of our music, but you couldn't identify like a face to a name or a sound to a location. But now, because of times that have already passed, I think we're now moving in that direction, and that's the beautiful thing about even what we're doing here right now. So.
Kulon is asking, it seems that a lot of the talent, songwriting, production comes from the rest of the islands, not on vocals. Why is that? And that?
So it comes from the rest of the islands, not on the vocals.
I think they're trying to say that the popularity of the island seems to be like the production of the music as opposed to
not the vocals.
Like the vocalists or people.
Yeah, Kulon, your question need to reword that, but I think he's basically saying that the small islands producing the writing and the production, but they're not doing the vocals. And why is that? So
so
you
in
understand?
the
You guys
sense of
doing
like
all the
you
you
hearing
guys
the
doing all the
production, but
hard
not the
work,
artist.
and then some artists jumping on it and singing and taking you forward.
Well, I I think I know one of the reasons for that is just really population. If you think about it, Trinidad's population compared to the Virgin Islands population is, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Or even Barbados compared to us, Grenada
right.
compared to us. So you have a larger body of people pushing a sound, it's gonna get out there faster. You have more DJs, you have more bloggers, you have more, you see what I'm saying? And that's
Yeah,
something that I've even spoke to on media platforms here in the Virgin Islands that we need more of. We need more like a Trini Jungle Juice platform, or you know what I'm saying, to where
yeah,
it's like you're not just depending on the artist fan base to get the sound out or the DJ's fan base to get the sound out. You know, there's many different media outlets that have a following,
yeah,
and they have the ability to tell you, hey, a new Marshall just dropped, a new Nadia Batson just dropped, so on and so forth. And that's what we need in the small island community. Just
right.
people who understand how to capture the audience and now be that outlet for the artist or the DJ or the producer, etc. You know?
Yeah. But speaking of that, that's a good question. So, like, Bits, what is your strategy for getting new stuff out in today's market? So you just released Remember Me, but what was your strategy to get that out to make sure it gets mass appeal?
I don't know if I really had a strategy. I just do what I do all the time.
Yeah, but what is
um,
and what do you do all the time?
what I think works for you, it starts immediately from your production and your writers and that kind of thing. Like for Remember Me, different people worked on it from different places. So for
Right.
example, Teddy Rhymes is not from Trinidad, he's from Grenada and he wrote the song. Right? So you have somebody from Grenada, then you have Jelani Pops, who is
Okay.
Trinidadian, but he works with a lot of people of the island. So like he just recently did something with Alison Hines, and after they have Advocate Productions, who's also Trini,
Right.
but he has a lot of popular rhythms the last couple of years, so he has a name for himself as well. And then who mixed and mastered my stuff was Precision Productions. So, like according to sometimes like who's labeled to your stuff kind of really helps people want to listen to it. Okay,
Right.
all right, Casey was a
So you
part of this,
think
I want to
from the
listen to
production
this.
level, if you choose the right sources,
Sometimes
that is a
it may
formula in
not work.
itself.
It may not work all the time. But what I can say though, like if a DJ opens something, this is my assumption because I'm not a
Yeah.
DJ. But and he sees like certain names worked on the production, they'll be like,
Totally agree. Totally
okay,
agree.
let
You
me
had
listen to this. Let me
yeah,
hear
you
how this
agree that
sounds.
you had this boy from New York, Kevin Crown. He said if he sees Wetty Beats, in his
You see?
folders, he's gonna listen to Wetty Beat stuff. If he sees
Exactly.
Precision Productions, he's gonna, hey, let me give this a listen. So you're right. You're right.
So I think sometimes it starts from there. A lot of songs that blow up that are from unknown people or unknown is because it got big on its own. Eventually
Right.
somebody pick up on it, they find it's a vibe, they start playing it and it gets big, right? But
Yeah.
I think from the initial start, the production, who probably wrote on it, who probably produced on it, that kind of thing. And then after too, you have to use your social media, you have to use every means possible. So like other than just setting up my stuff on via Julian or whoever the distributor might be for the music at the point in time, Fox News or whatever it is. I did everything. I did newspapers, I did online interviews, I did TV interviews. Like
Right.
I try to cover everybody, the youths, the mature people, everybody. You know what I mean? You can't leave
Yeah.
anybody out because what people fail to realize, not everyone is on social media.
Very
So you have
true.
to
I
you have to
yeah.
you have to go through every means possible. And I mean, I use all my socials, Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, everything now. So you just have
Yeah.
to really just use everything.
I agree. And as you said that, I actually was telling someone recently they were getting an offer to do an interview with a certain media outlet, and I said, you know what, buddy, don't stick on that. Just do it, because
Yeah,
in my experience, because I was a media person doing the interviewing for the larger part of my life, when people came to me and said, hey, Dre, I want to do an article on you, I want you to come and do an interview, I will always shy away from it for years. Hey, I don't have time. I'm too busy. You know, you don't want to talk to me. I'm small. I'm a nobody. And I regret every one of those because
Mm.
every chance you get to put your name or your word somewhere or stamp your name, my recommendation is do it. Because
I
you
mean,
don't
you
believe,
know, the
even if
thing
it's
too,
five
important.
people on a podcast, that's 5 people extra that didn't know about you today.
Yep. I cost you $0 to do that.
Zero.
$0.
Zero. I think for me, it was just I couldn't be bothered. I'm like, man, you don't want to interview me. And I turned away so many. So now when people come, I'm just, you know what? Yeah, let's do it. It's like I even hit up Adam. I said, Adam, I want to, I would like you to be a guest on my show. And I love his response. He said, listen, it'll be an honor. Let's do it. As of
Yeah.
some people, and I realize again in this world,
Yeah, man.
some people you'll have to chase. And after, if I have to chase them, either A, they're not interested, or B, they don't get what we're doing, So
Yeah.
it is what it is.
Yeah, yeah.
And of course, the quality of what you're doing too as well, right? Your artwork, your videos.
Right.
You really have to always maintain a particular standard because people always gravitate to quality.
Right.
So must always make sure whatever it is you're putting out there.
Yeah, there's definitely a I like to call it like a recipe. I feel like every good pot you have to follow a certain recipe to get it to taste the way you
Right.
need
And
it to taste.
life
know?
so funny, yeah. You might do all this and nothing happen. And you will have the simplest song. You really think nothing about it. You just produce this and you put it out there.
But we have that conversation all the time.
Take off.
We have it all the time. Problem Child actually said there are times when he put
Yeah.
so much effort into making a hit, and he said this is going to be it, and flatline. And there are times he's like, all right, let's throw this out there, and
Yep.
it's a rocket ship.
Yep.
So
Yep.
whatever throughout my 14 or 15 interviews, I've realized that 99% of the times you cannot call a hit in this industry.
No.
Even when you think it's going to be a hit, it could not be a hit.
Yeah.
And but some producers say, you know what, man, you come to me, I will give you a hit. There are some producers they say, hey, you come to me and you want a hit, I will give you gold.
Yeah.
Hey, there's a difference between a hit and a hit sounding record. There's a difference.
Yeah. But Adam, do you have your recipe to date for your music? Has it just been writing from the heart, something that you think is good that you want to release all the time? Or are you now trying to work a science to say, this is work, that beat they like? What's your formula? Do you have a formula today? For your pot? What's your recipe?
My my recipe simple, man. I just go off of vibes, If like warming up, I the one that you played.
Warming up.
From the minute
you didn't
I
do a
hear
music video for that yet, no. You don't even have to do a music video because everybody else did a music video for you.
Hey, comment still though, don't worry.
I hope so.
Letting them get up first, right?
All right.
But it's like, I feel like with music, right? With music, there is certain sounds, certain rhythm patterns, certain things you say that connect with the human brain and the soul. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And I feel like as artists, sometimes we try to get too mathematical, too scientifical. You know what I'm saying? And we just try to, this guy did this and this girl did this. And if I put all this together, it should work. Right? That's how we think. And I think that's how anybody thinks in any industry. But I feel like what separates a hit from the regular is that song, like, like the one from the Gunman in G.O.Z. Like it's like as bad as the song, the content, it connected with something in some way, know. And I can't explain it. You can't explain it. But for me, my formula is just when I hear something and it make me feel good. And as an artist, I'm sure Bitts could attest to this. Is like you're playing it 20 million times in a day. You go sleep, you think about it. You wake up, you think about it. Your friends hitting you up and they're like, yo, this song is just infectious. I feel that's when you have a hit, you know, because I have 400 songs I've written that to me ain't ready to go, but the ones that I put out, I felt
Yeah.
ready to go. It's like she said, I didn't even think they were going to be big. Like Sexy Dance, I didn't really feel that was going to be big in the Virgin Islands. And then it became huge. I was
Right.
literally pumping gas one day and I hear one car pass by, show me a sexy dance. Okay, that's cool. Two cars, and I'm still pumping the same gas at the same, like I haven't moved. Two cars, boom. Another
Sexy
car pulling the
dance.
gas station, blasting. I'm just like, something is happening here. Something is happening here that I am not aware of. I need to go find out. I need to go find out what's happening. So as far as answering your question with hits, I feel like a hit is like we are the people who birth the energy, and then the people make it the hit. If that makes sense, we gonna set the table. We're gonna put the plate there. The recipe, make the plate, make the food. And if it's a hit, it's a hit. If it's not, take your food back home and try again.
Yeah, no, man, spot on, because you have to put out something, and people it comes on the people. Same thing with comedian
Mhm.
Jean Paul said he hates it when someone say, share this thing, now share this thing, let's make it viral. You can't make something viral, it
It's
goes viral.
yeah, it's an
I
organic
hate when
thing.
people put stuff in that. Hey, could you
Mhm.
share this so we can make it viral? No.
It goes it's an organic
Viral is an
thing.
organic thing. It
Yeah.
means this thing is crazy. You need to see it, and I will just share it. You don't have to tell me to share it. I will share it because it's so crazy, and
Yeah,
it's new music. You can't tell somebody,
exactly.
"Hey, make the DJs play this now." Tell the DJ play my song because it will become big. I mean, yes, there's a little bit of brainwashing involved. We know that part of the game, but the force feeding, you can't really do it.
Mm.
You really have to just let people take it and
And and I just want to stop you there real quick to just impart some knowledge that I wish somebody had told me when I was starting out as an artist. Artists who are listening right now, do not overspend on your productions, okay? Please. You don't need the fanciest of the fanciest. You just don't need it. You don't, honestly. Because at the end, no, I'm not telling you to have quality. Put your best foot forward. But
yeah,
there's no reason you need to go spend 12, 14, $15,000 on a music video
right,
and $5,000 on the production, and you don't even know if it's a hit. You don't even know if you're gonna make this money back, right? We have iPhones, we have all type of different ways for the people to see us and make things happen. Get resourceful. You see what I'm saying? That's
yeah,
that's something I wish somebody had tell me. Get resourceful, because I don't spend God knows how much money, and I wish I could go back in time and just slap myself and be like, dude, no, put it down. You don't need it. Real talk,
yeah,
real talk. I mean, quality at the end of the day, but the overkill, sometimes you just don't need it, because we have, I mean, I would venture to say this, and I might be wrong, but I might be right at the same time. When Split in the Middle came out, I'm pretty sure that video wasn't like, wow, crazy video, right? I
yeah.
feel it was a simple video. I don't even think it took much money for them to
Mm,
shoot that. But it was the biggest song of that time. You see
yeah,
what I'm saying? And I feel like sometimes we just have to pull back because we want to put the best out.
yeah,
Like when going back to the recipe, we make that food, we want our food look amazing. But if
yeah.
the people don't like the food, if they're not tasting the curry and what they need inside a day, you don't have a hit, and you just spend all this money for this amazing presentation. You see what I'm saying?
No, that's
So
that's some
yeah,
great
that's my little
advice.
my
So
little 2 cents. My little two
yeah, no, that's
cents.
some great advice. So I hope all
Mhm.
the artists and upcoming artists listen to that. You don't have to spend a bag of money to make it or to be successful. And that leads to a good question here. So Bits, like, you put out a lot of quality music videos. How do you gauge when you spend a certain amount of budget that you get the returns? How do you gauge as an artist that if I spend this, this is what I'm qualifying as break even or profit or success on that music video?
Well, my thoughts on that is a gamble, eh? It's
Hmm.
really, really a gamble because, as we were saying before, you never know which one is the hit.
Right.
You never know which one is the hit. So I just do. I just produce and I just ensure that whatever it is I produce is of a certain quality and of
Right.
a certain standard. And I just try not to overdo in the spending,
Right.
obviously. But it must be of a certain quality if I want people to respect me as an artist and to acknowledge me as an artist. Especially when you look at the top artists we have in Trinidad or just internationally, in, let's say all the islands, and you see the quality videos, you see the quality songs. I know if I want to be there or continue to be there, that I need to maintain that quality. And in that way, I know I have to. Sometimes you just have to spend a little extra. Like I was telling somebody the other day again. When I first started out, it didn't have no glam squad. It had no glam squad. I do my own, then makeup and go on the damn stage and have my own clothes.
Yeah.
Now it's a thing. It is a thing to have a glam squad. You have to
That's
have.
Adam O's next move to get a glam squad, huh?
Well, at least the
Hey,
like the
we ain't
female,
reached that.
as I
We ain't
say,
advanced like that yet.
yo, let me tell you something. It's different when it comes to the female. It's totally different. When you make a
Yeah,
post
yeah.
on Instagram
Yeah.
or your social media, you have to put who's your hairstylist, who do your
Hair
makeup.
by, outfit by,
Yo, it's a whole
MUA.
So like for a female, like if I go to see a cat, I want to spend my money, I have to spend the money because we're living in a totally different era now. You
Yeah.
cannot go up on that stage and not be well put away because they are going to destroy you on social media. They are
Right.
going to. So you have to be
Yeah.
of a certain standard as a female. But there are little tricks to it because if you buy clothing or your stylist buy clothing, you just have to know how to mix and match your stuff for the season so that you wear back that same top and nobody will realize that you wear back that same top. So they are just little tricks to the trade. And you just have to know how to spend without overspending. It's a it's a
Yeah. It's
yeah.
it's a tough call because I mean, Adam, I want to assume there was certain which music video really felt as if you overspent on that you're like, shit, I wish I didn't spend that much money on that video.
So it's a funny story. At the time, I didn't really have the money. So this is why I overspent.
Right.
But I felt like the product I got was well worth the money, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So the same video you saw, Wine and Dip was way outside of my budget. But after I saw the videographer's walk, his name is Gabriel Stevens, shout him out real quick. I was like, dude, I gonna just get whatever you need because the work you do, you gonna make me look good as hell. Like you gonna make me good.
Yeah.
And I wouldn't say I would go back and change that.
Okay.
What I would go back and change is the type of money I was spending on like promoting myself. You know, like before when Facebook had like the sponsor your page thing and paying certain DJs. I ain't gonna lie, I was one of them. I used to pay a DJ to run my tune extra. I ain't gonna have no shame in it. I'll be the first to say, right? I mean, you do what you do. I mean, that was the norm during the time, and I would pay a DJ like, yo, spin my stuff a little extra, and there was just like a lot of different little things that ended up just adding up, and when I look at it now, going back, I'm just like, why did I spend all that money? I just needed to go back in the lab and make better tunes, just keep making tunes, just keep going at it, because back then I just wasn't ready. But sometimes when you're not ready, you don't feel like you ain't ready. You feel like you ready now. So you're going to spend that money to just say, hey, rest of the world, I'm ready. Look at me. And then they look at you and they're like, you ain't ready.
You're not ready.
But the guy who is ready ain't spending nothing. He's spending zero. He's spending nothing. And he is out there doing it, So it's a give and take. It's a give and take, really and truly. And like what Bitts was saying with the females, I have all the respect, like crown off on my knees, all hail the women, because the women have it horrible. I had to see y'all backstage and Jesus Christ, true story, Labor Day, New York. There's an artist out of Antigua, I can't remember her name off the top of my head, forgive me.
Tizzy.
But I remember going backstage and she literally, Tizzy, that's her name. She had 2 girls helping her strap up these humongous boots that come all the way up past her knees.
Shout out to my
They
girl
look good,
Tizzy.
But Daddy,
You get Tizzy on the show sometimes.
Daddy, when you see the walk it take to put on them things, my son, I say, Lord, you about to go on stage like this? She's like, yeah, boy, this is the process, you know? And she went on stage and she killed it. But me, it take me 2 seconds to try on my sneakers and go up there and do my thing. Real talk. No makeup, nothing. I just like this, shirt, t-shirt, pants, boom. Hey guys, put your hands in the air, wave like you just don't care, you know? But females, y'all, like you said, glam squad. If you don't know how to do your make, you do it yourself, you know? Hats off. And I feel like with overspending, you just have to gauge it. You have to really sit down, like you was like Bitts was saying. It's a gamble, it's a process, and I feel like the more you do it, the more you're gonna kind of get your niche. You're gonna kind of find out like, oh yeah, we have to spend on that. We don't need to spend that much on this. This is the price range we're gonna be in. This is the budget we're gonna stay within because we know what it is we getting, what we not getting, blah blah blah. You know, so that's my little take on it.
All right. Well, we at that hour mark. I try to keep this thing within like a tight around this time, but it leads us to our final segment of the show, which is the most important part, is letting people know what you're working on, what's in the pipeline, what we can expect. So let's start with Lil Bitts. What's going on with you? What could we see coming, and what are we looking forward to?
I have more releases coming. I heard before the end of the year. We'll see how that goes.
Time is moving.
Because some releases you don't have really control over, dependent on if it's a rhythm, etc. So working on more visuals, in the studio, constantly recording, because I feel as if you should never stop recording as an artist. It shouldn't be that you record for your carnival. And even now with COVID, you're placed in a position where you have to record all the time. You should record all the time. My advice to artists, young artists coming up, just record music every chance you get.
Keep recording.
Record and stuff up. You know.
Nice. Are you working Bitts? Have you ever done like an album or an EP? It's always been singles?
Never. We're in the process of working on that right now.
Thank you.
Because what I would really like to do, I have a lot of old music that some people consider to be classics.
Right.
So what I would like to do is put together some of my new and old, and package it and put it out there. So
please.
We're in the process of working on that as
Wicked.
we speak. Yeah.
Nice. Adam?
So I have Sexy Dance music video just dropped yesterday.
I didn't know. I didn't even know. You didn't. So far. I had to go look and find it. I even got I'll message yo Dre, look the video drop in.
Man.
You could Trini Jungle just could premiere the video.
I don't get a cuss out bus 50 times a day. I'm so sorry. I apologize for the deepest part of my light skin heart. Okay. Next time, I promise I'll go fix it. Right. So yeah, guys, check out the Sexy Dance music video. It's out right now. Ryan, our DJ Private Ryan, already put a cat out the bag. Me and him have a track that's coming soon. It's on his mix right now, so you could go and check that out. The latest mix that he just put out, that one's called So Far.
Could we get a taste of it?
Also collaborating with DJ Steven. Yeah, I think I could pull that up real quick for you guys. I don't know. You gonna be able to hear it though?
Let's saying pull it up. And we mean on the show we sing straight. The artist is sing.
Gotta sing one time for me.
Gonna get a little acapella. Listen, excuse me. Clearly, I've been drinking too much today. All right, ready. Baby, why you so damn far? Baby, why you so damn far away? I need your body in my arms. I hate it when you so damn far away. I want you to dress back for me. Come let me feel our body. You got the perfect type of ba-dum, bend over, take that ba-dum. That's it there. One time, up the road.
Nice. Very nice.
Pull up the tune.
Private Ryan's mix. And it's called...
Yes, it's called So Far.
So Far.
Far Away. That's
Far Away.
Far Away.
Okay.
Far Away.
Shout out to DJ
Power.
Private
That's
Ryan.
it. I promise.
Big
That's
producer now.
Yeah, man. DJ. Yeah, man. Ryan reached out and I said the same thing. I was like, you just tell me when. I mean, you really got to ask. Just tell me what you need me to do, and I'm there, right?
Nice.
So Private Ryan, I met him on Soca Cruise, same way.
Right.
So Ryan, and then I have a project coming out with DJ Steven as well. That one's gonna be pretty dope. Let's do the teaser for that one, if I can remember the lyrics real quick. DJ Steven's song, going through my 400 catalogs of songs I've been working on for like the last.
Matrix plugin, DJ Steven.
Right? I need to jam on your back, I need get sick on your back, I need all behind the truck, I need you back, I need to rock on your back, I need get sick on your back, I need all behind the truck, I need you back. Well, I can't play when it come to you. I'm in love. Ooh, every day I think about you. Is that too much? Up all night on the phone. I cannot alone. And if I see your image, I start stressing. No, I need you more, yeah. Watch all the thing in my bag. I can't even unpack. About to go in the yard and jump around with some plants. I took you for granted. I look in a second chance. At bad influences. Oh, I miss you so much. Oh, don't judge me. That's the big tune right there. DJ Stevens, I don't know. Watch out for this thing. Yeah, man. So we got that. And then we got one more surprise.
You have real surprises, boy. And Christmas come early.
But I don't. Yeah, man. I walk in. And then we have a big project coming out with a producer by the name of Marvelous. Those of you who don't know who Marvelous is, that's the guy who make the rhythm for Where We Going? Big Jam. Where We Going? Big Jam. And she got the juice. Hey, she dripping. That's the producer, big producer right there. Yeah, man. Straight from the Virgin Islands, I tell you. The Virgin Islands has been there.
But if you don't know those two songs, you need to know those two songs. Like huge.
Yeah. So I got, those are the 3 new things I have coming out, and some music videos are in work right now. Well, I may not be in one of them because you definitely just said it, you know.
Trinidad Jungle Juice will be world premiere and warming up. November 15th, 2020.
There it
Trinidad
is.
Jungle Juice will do the world premiere of Warming Up.
November. Wow, that timeline is a little tight.
Whenever you're ready, as I say, today is November 15th, and I'm saying that when you're ready to bust Warming Up, Trinidad Jungle Juice will do the world premiere. Whenever you're ready.
I thought we had a few more hours to drop this thing.
No. I won't put that kind of pressure on you. So good.
Yeah, man. So that's what I got going on.
All right.
Nice.
So wicked though. Thank you so much, guys. Like Bitts, it was great catching up. I will just end by saying, I mean, I will come back again after we leave, but I want to see Adamo Little Bitts at some point in time, because that's why this is about. It shows about also creating these bridges where you guys, I'll connect you all and you all can work on something at some point.
Okay,
I think that'll be awesome.
Amazing, actually.
Because Adam, anything Bitts jump on too as a female artist coming out of Trinidad? Yeah.
Say less. Say less. Once
so
you
we're gonna make that happen.
Let's go.
Right? I will link that. And to before I come off a close, Adam, it came out yesterday. I have it lined up, so I want you to give the big intro, and we're gonna run your music video that launched yesterday for the people. So bust the intro.
World premiere. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls of all ages, cats, dogs, squirrels, it don't matter where you are. This is the world premiere on Trini Jungle Juice. Adam O, Sexy Dance. Bitts, big up yourself one time, straight from Trinidad, all the way from the US Virgin Islands. Love you guys so much, man.
Push back. Oh, la, let that. Push back. Oh, la, let that.
Now you are going to get in position to do it.
Yo, how you mean you
So that was Sexy Dance that released yesterday from Adam O out of the USVI. And big shout out to Little Bitts representing Sweet TNT as always. Great show. Make sure and follow them. They are on Instagram, of course. Official Little Bitts and official Adam O. And they're also both on YouTube. So make sure and subscribe to their channel so you will also keep up to date with all their latest music videos, vlogs, whatever they do. Make sure and support the artist. The message is simple. You are one song away from your next big hit. So in Adam's old video, the guy didn't know. And then he's like, wait, that's you? Boom. One song away from your next big hit. Yeah. Much love and respect, guys. If you didn't realize, the latest collection, because we drop collections like every hour now, is Trini Jungle Juice Transit. You will see stuff like this, which represents NYC. Just today, we dropped one that represents the underground in London. So that dropped an hour before this show started. So Trini Jungle Juice Transit is our newest collection. There's a lot more collections in the works. Some really special things that we're working on that's coming out soon. I won't even drop Let the Cat Out of the Bag, but yeah, you know. So I will see you guys next week. I love y'all. I love y'all like bits. That's it, guys. I love y'all. Peace, love, and jungle juiceness.